10 inches. And it's been overflowing all summer. Now, in well construction, we require 2 strings of casing and cement. The frac is over 1 mile to 2 miles below your portable water and all kinds of pressure tests. So let's just run through that regime. First, we drill through your drinking water with fresh water. We put 2 layers of protection in, casing and cement. We drill down to the kickoff point. We run that mud motor in and we build the curve. We add 2 more layers of protection, a steel casing and cement. We drill the horizontal lateral. We run a liner in, and now we got 5 layers of protection between frac fluid and your drinking water. We then, I just want to point out again, your drinking water's up here, 0 to 2,500 feet. The frac is going on down here at 10,000 feet. How do we know that those fracs aren't 10,000 feet tall? Well, Whiting is a pioneer in this. They've set up a buried seismic array over Sanish Field and monitored, I think they're up to about 140 frac jobs now that they've monitored in that field. When they do that, it looks like this. They can actually map each crack as it grows. At the tip of that crack, as it grows through the rock, it's about like setting off an M80 firecracker. And you can hear that at the surface. And so they can monitor each one of those incidents where somebody set off an M80 down there with the frac job and map out these fractures. This is what it looks like from the toe of the well back to the heel. Jim, you missed a big section right here. So when you drill the well next door, you want to pay attention to that. Water flow back is regulated by us as well. We don't store water in open pits. We store it in tanks and we dispose of it. We're, again, blessed with geology that's capable of disposing of that water here in the Dakota Formation, a mile below the Earth's surface. This is an enormous business opportunity in the state of North Dakota. Right now we have 300 water disposal wells. We need 1,500 by the time this play is over. So great investment. We're going to need 3 water disposal wells in every township out there, covering 15,000 square miles. If there is an incident, then the health department steps in to help with the cleanup. We already have federal laws in place, EPCRA and the MSDS, that require the frac chemicals to be disclosed to us, and we can release those to doctors or whoever needs them at the end. These are the chemicals. We won't go too much through this list, but I just want to point out that you encounter these things every day. If, for example, you put on makeup or took a laxative or ate some candy this week, you ingested some frac chemicals. If, for example, you went to the dentist sometime in the last year, you ingested frac chemicals because he uses them to disinfect his dental equipment. Once this stuff is mixed into frac fluid and pumped into the ground, it's very, very dilute, and really it is no health risk whatsoever. The only risk is the concentrated tanks of it being trucked out to the location. We need to pay a lot of attention to that. There are many, many past studies and too many studies going on right now about how safe hydraulic fracturing is. The last thing I want to point out is we have a great geological survey in North Dakota. We have surveyed the entire state for methane occurrences in shallow water, and we've found it everywhere in the state, even here in Trail County, where there's never even been a well permitted. So methane in water is a naturally occurring thing. By the way, just south of Fargo here, you've got some real opportunities for shallow gas. Once natural gas prices begin to come back, it's going to be a ways out. So let's talk about business opportunities. Obviously, if you can move dirt, there's money to be made in the oil patch in western North Dakota. Drilling rigs, we're going to add probably another 25 to 35 drilling rigs over the next year. Every one of those needs almost a dozen of these trailers located on it, one of which Kathy's crew stays in, one of which the directional people stay in. And so those are not manufactured in North Dakota right now. There's an opportunity there to manufacture those in North Dakota. They're all being imported. The frac tanks, as I talked about, are manufactured here in Fargo right now. And the frac companies are setting up in Williston and Minot and Dickinson. To the best of my knowledge, there's nobody that really repairs the pumps for these frac companies here. Most of that equipment gets shipped out of state for repair parts. The workover rigs are manufactured in Mohall, North Dakota, and production tanks are manufactured in Dickinson, North Dakota, along with these pressure vessels in Dickinson and Williston, North Dakota. So there are lots and lots of businesses that are engaged in the process of using or partners with this industry. Natural gas plants. As you know, we're flaring about 30% of our natural gas. There's going to be $3 billion invested in gathering natural gas and processing it this next year. Somebody needs to dig those ditches and lay those pipes. Tremendous business opportunities. Another huge business opportunity is all of that frac sand. We currently consume in this state about 4 million tons of frac sand and ceramic proppant a year. Every bit of that is imported from out of state. We have mapped out resources of clay and sand in North Dakota. There's a 29 billion ton deposit of ceramic producing clay in southwestern North Dakota that's just begging for somebody to go in there and make ceramic proppant. Right now we import it all from China. Every bit of it comes across the ocean into Seattle and down the rails from China. Huge, huge business opportunity to make ceramic proppant in southwestern North Dakota. There's enough clay in that deposit to satisfy all the proppant needs for the Bakken and Three Forks play for the entire life of the play. Another opportunity, Kathy mentioned these, the geosteering and mud motor system. Right now, every one of these mud motors, there's 3 in North Dakota for every well. So let's just do some simple math. That's about 600 mud motors in the state of North Dakota right now. There's 1 in the hole, 1 sitting on standby, and 1 on a hotshot truck going to Oklahoma or Texas to be repaired. Why isn't there a repair facility for mud motors in North Dakota? We got these empty shops where we used to, build loaders and stuff like that. So there are 600 mud motors circulating around through the oil patch in North Dakota, none of them being repaired in the state of North Dakota. This is a giant. It is tremendous in size and scope. Nobody has ever before developed a 15,000 square mile oil field. The opportunities out here for vapor incinerators, for vapor recovery units, for mud motors, for all of those business kind of opportunities are absolutely mind-boggling. And hopefully we're going to get Kathy to talk about some of the things they're doing. Nothing is without risk. Unfortunately, most of our risk comes from a place I call Disneyland for politicians. Inside the Washington Beltway are people that are constantly thinking of ways to tackle or